All right, we have had one busy day here. Top off a busy week. My nephew had his second birthday party this afternoon. Happy birthday to you, Cletus. I know you won't see this, but maybe your mom will. But at any rate, get you up to speed on our recent shenanigans here. As you can see, I got a cacophony of rubbish. This is our 49 Farmall M. And down there is our brand new 12-volt dual action hydraulic pump kit. Excuse me. That's me sneezing. And that said hydraulic pump setup is going to end up where this belt pulley setup is. That's on the to-do list for maybe this week. But all in all, we've been keeping busy, getting ready for springtime, planting and getting ground worked up. And we moved the three little ladies who weren't prego. We put them in here with my buddy Senny Minnie. Yes, Senny Minnie. Yes, you're the king of the barnyard. We can see this. Yes, see. Hi. Hi, Senny. Hi, Thing. Hi, other thing. Hi, Paprika. We got everybody in there. But they're doing real well. Go back here and... Hi, Mia. Yes, well, I'll tell you the story of Mia here in just a couple minutes. Yes, she was a busy little girl today. And of course, there's Gemini. And Gemini's mom. There's Sweetheart smiling. Ooh, I see teethers out of Sweetheart. And there's Sweetheart's little boy. He's just chilling. And there's Squeaky and Squeaky's mom. This was our project yesterday evening. I crawled in there with the old Mahindra and the Howes tiller. This was the field where I kept the cows all winter long. So it got just a little bit on the, shall we say, compacted side. In fact, that ground was harder than Chinese math. Long division, no less. What you see here is the result of 2 passes in low gear at wide open throttle with that tiller digging for all it's worth. There you can see where I lifted out, come out of the end and lifted up on it. And it's sort of decent enough to plant in. Well, I'm put it this way, I'm praying for rain tonight. Then I'll get on there and hit it one more time with the cultivators and throw the corn in the ground next week maybe. But we'll move on back here. My other big project. I got all the wood out of the rental farm down there, out of the front field at least. I probably got 2 more loads down there to get, but we ain't gonna worry about cutting them up just yet. You can see that's pretty good jag. Had it up on the dump truck and it was a pretty good load there. There's our buddy Ringo Kid. And there's Miss Mia. This morning I came out and was gonna go ahead and do the weekly episode video this morning. Till I strolled around the corner over here by the back of that barn. And sure enough, here comes Miss Mia standing down in the field. Yes, baby, back up. You're hooked on the silly rock. Here. Okay, yes, there. Yeah, say hi, Mia. Say hi. Say hello, world. Say hi, world. Okay, she's thoroughly unimpressed. Yes, I know. You're cute. We love you. Yes. Well, at any rate, so Miss Mia decided that she was just going to follow me around everywhere I went. Yes, she was. She was just going to follow me and see what I was doing. And we was going to hang out with the little kids because there was a bunch of kids here. And of course, there's Miss Sky over there doing her part to keep the vegetation in check. And Ringo, you done got yourself tangled around the tree one time already, doofus. He's a nice boy, but he's about as sharp as a bowling ball. There's our infamous corn planter. I got to get that dug out, get to work on it. My big oversized field tiller. Here, hi puppy. And make a quick stroll around here. I can come up on the afternoon's project. I get that girl out and get her greased up and get ready to go because it's almost hay baling season. Another month and we'll be getting fat up into it. So pop in here and say hi to the guys and the gals. Hi, babies. Hello. Hi, Bingo. Hi, Audrey. Yes, you're going to get out of there today. Yes, you're going to get out of there, I promise. We're going to move you out onto the pasture this week. All right. Well, a couple videos back here, I showed you my number 7 chopper that I bought. I was all happy about it. Well, if 1 is good, 2 must be better. Because we figured out what happened with mine. We knew the overrun clutch was bad. So today, before the party started, Dylan Martinez, Sandy Beck, and I, we tore it down to figure out just what was busted. Now, needless to say, those dogs are dogged out. Those little steps that you see right in here, right there, those are the drives that spin the flail wheel, and that turns the blower. So over here is the same machine, albeit much older. My buddy Mark Thomas had this sitting down in his fence row, and it was in good shape, and it had the clutch we needed. This is what it looks like on the inside. There's that square tube you see is what I was just pointing at in the other video, in the other machine. And that's got the flail hammers on it. That spins around and they cut the grass off. You ever seen them mowers out along the highway that hang off the side of the tractor that say Alamo on them? That's what those are, flail mowers, except they're mounted on a boom. They work on the same principle. Well, needless to say, this one, the gearbox is completely, teetotally pig iron shot. It ain't no good for nothing. And that's on a good day. But if you look in there at the dogs, this machine saw very little use. Because there's very little wear, if any, on those dogs. Now, this is a different style of gearbox than mine. However, that piece is the same as my machine. And over here, you hear me keep talking about these dogs. These are the dogs I'm talking about, right here. That's your shaft coming in from the tractor. This is the shaft that sits into that housing I showed you that was all busted up. And needless to say, you can see what happens when you turn the shaft. It spins the outside here, and centrifugal force does the rest. Throws them right out. You can see them flinging out there. And this one, the bearing is absolute garbage. That bearing is toast. This is what they call the dog housing, or the clutch dogs, off of the old machine I got from Mark. They're in pretty darn, not in half bad shape. These are the ones off my machine, and you can see they got a lot of wear. The points are wore down on them. These dogs weren't. Only problem is there's only one good one on there. The other one was busted. So we're going to take this dog here and we're going to pull it out. You can see how much wear it's got back there in the back. If you look right there by the back, you can see how it's wobbling around. You see the amount of wear it has. This one has some, but nowhere near as much. Get the camera on it so you can actually see what I'm doing. Oh, blow me. Stupid thing. But anyway, that's how that works. You just spin it, the shaft turns it, spins the dogs out, the dogs grab into that housing, and they make everything spin and turn and do all sorts of cool stuff. So this one we bought for parts, and just mounting bolts and that clutch house, that it's actually called an overrun clutch. You know, the clutch housing and the dogs were worth the price we paid for it. Not to mention it's got a good belt. It's got a bunch of other nifty little pieces that we can use. So I don't think we got hurt at all. Nope, not even a little bit. It's got a good snout on it. So God willing and the creeks don't rise the end of this week, I can be out there chopping green chop. But I got to get my other project, put my drive shaft in that. That won't take but a couple minutes. And let's see, what else did we do fun this week? Well, that was about it. Other than one of my hashtags, or not hashtags, keywords. Yeah, that's it. One of the keywords for my channel is homesteading and survivalism. And I keep promising that I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Well, tonight we're actually going to start into it. And we are starting from the bare basics, as in most of this stuff you're going to be like, oh, come on, P, we already know that. Well, guess what? You're going to know it again. Never hurts for a refresher. We all talk about being prepared for whatever may happen. And if you're hoping to see me open up a secret bunker and pull out, 25 ARs and 2,000 MREs, well, you're at the wrong place. Hate to tell you, you're in the wrong spot. We live in this place called reality, where the simple reality of it is, as my one instructor told me, you better be prepared to survive and get home off of what you got on your person. Because invariably, things go to crap when you're nowhere near that wonderful bug out bag or get home bag that you got stashed in the car, and all you have is what's in your pants pockets, which is why we come down to something called EDC, everyday carry. And girls have it better than guys in that because they carry a purse. A guy carries a purse and they kind of look at you a little funny. And girls, I don't know what you all got going on, what arrangements you have made with the universe, but if your purse is anything like my mom's, it was a portal to another dimension that was anything you could think of. My mom probably had it in there. We could be walking through the mall, and your mom always had, anything you needed was in that purse of hers. And she could hear somebody talk, oh, man, I need a carburetor for a 49 Buick. And she'd start digging in her purse and she'd come up with one. I'm serious. I don't know where the bottom of her purse led to, but I'm pretty sure it was nowhere in this realm. But in laying all jokes aside, there's some simple stuff you carry. There's 5 basic things: a cutting tool, a combustion tool, some type of a covering, a container for water, and some kind of cordage. Now, the cordage thing, there's a lot of places that if you're a little creative, you can MacGyver it as you will. As I'm wearing my University of MacGyver shirt today. But at minimum, a pocket knife, a good Bic lighter. Don't buy one of those cheese ball ones. Just get a good standard Bic lighter. The thing will outlast the cockroaches as long as you don't accidentally drop it and run over it like I did. Now I got to replace mine. But a decent pocket knife. It doesn't have to be a Leatherman or a Swiss Army, Victorinox that has its own zip code. It doesn't need to be all that. I mean, yeah, that's nice. That stuff comes in handy, and I'm not knocking them in any way, shape, or form. But you can generally, as a rule, you can get by and get through the situation that you're in, short of, a major cataclysm off of just some very simple things. Take your Bic lighter, get you some Gorilla Tape, wrap a couple wraps around the body of the lighter. The stuff makes great starting tinder. You can light it off, and you can actually use that to build a bigger fire. You don't have to sit there and fight with the bird's nest and a ferro rod. Again, nothing against ferrocerium rods or magnesiums, but in the interest of simplicity, and as my drill sergeant said, KISS, keep it simple, stupids. Get a Bic lighter. As far as a covering goes, go down. If you like hoodies, keep one with you. If you don't want to do that, go buy a flannel shirt that's about 2 sizes too big for you. Because that way you can put it over top of whatever else you're wearing. It'll help keep the water off you. It'll keep the dampness off of you. And you can improvise a lot of things out of it. As far as the container goes, none of us live so far out in the sticks that we don't see human civilization and that we can't find an empty water bottle or something to collect water in. And as far as cordage goes, if you look right down there, there's your cordage. Yes, it's a little hokey, but it beats walking around with a wad of 550 paracord in your pocket, because you start dragging all that out when you go through security, and they're going to look at you like you got a little something wrong in the upstairs. But just simple rules like that, and the simple rules of 3. Again, we covered the 5 basics of survival. Now we're going to cover the rules of 3, the laws of 3. Real simple. 3 minutes without oxygen, you're dead. 3 hours in the cold without shelter, you ain't going to be happy either. 3 days without water, you're dead. Actually, after about a day without water, you're going to be in so much pain, your joints are going to ache. You are going to be hating life so bad, you won't know what to do with yourself. But at 3 days, you're dead. You're gone. You know, you're dried up. You're a husk. And you can pretty much, they say 3 weeks without food, without some form of caloric sustenance. That's pushing it for most people. Most people, by the time 1 week is up, they're going to be gnawing on tree bark or anything they can find. But they say 3 weeks without food, that's pushing your luck. So I always recommend to people, if you're going anywhere, take a pocket knife, take a lighter, grab a couple of granola bars, some kind of snack bar that you'll actually eat. Don't get it just because it's loaded with calories. Get something that you're actually going to enjoy eating, you know? And just try to be aware of what's going on around you. Everybody's like, well, I got a bug out bag in my car. Well, you go to work in a big city and you park your car in an underground parking garage. Let's say that there's an earthquake or a catastrophic collapse of said parking garage. Now, how are you going to get to your bug out bag without an excavator and a 953 Caterpillar? You ain't going to do it. So be prepared to live off what you got in your pockets. And again, just use your common sense. I mean, most human beings, you know, the good Lord gave us enough brains to come in out of the rain without a picture book. So follow your gut. If something don't sound right, don't feel right, don't do it. You know, no matter what your buddies tell you, you know, oh, we did this, we did that. If it don't feel right to you in your gut, don't do it. But that's enough ranting and raving for 1 week. I'll get this chopper put back together. I'll shoot some more video of that. Maybe I'll even post it for you. Oh, I got to show you what my nephew built. Charles David Olin, CD as we call him. He found an old freezer basket in the back of my old red dump truck. And he found an old bucket handle, and he decided to get creative and make a big old egg basket for us. And it actually turned out really good. And see, that's that whole MacGyvering thing. You look at something and you look at a bunch of something that don't belong together and say, ooh, I could do something with that. And if you're really lucky and eat all your vegetables, you'll get to graduate summa cum laude from MacGyver University. God bless. Be safe. We'll talk to you next time.